Hi, I'm Aiden, owner of Mid-Atlantic Water, and today I'm going to talk about acid neutralizers. There's a lot of confusion about what type of acid neutralizers you should have for your home. We have non-backwashing, which we have here. This is our 13 by 54 non-backwashing unit, and there's also backwashing units such as our Flex 7000 SXT backwashing system. Now there's different sizes, and if you're shopping online, you'll see sizes from 1 cubic foot up to 3 cubic feet. Standard in the industry is the 10 by 54 acid neutralizer. Now we usually recommend that for pH levels of 6.0 and above, and for smaller families, say 2 to 4 people in the household. Now I know a lot of times some of these websites online will show, you go by the number of bathrooms. Well, you can have 6 bathrooms, but you only have, 2 or 3 people living in the house. They're not all going to be using those bathrooms at the same time. So typically what I do is I go by the number of people in the home, because the average person in America uses 100 gallons of water per day per person. Children included as adults, because typically they'll have more laundry to do. But anyway, now depending on your water chemistry, like this is our most popular selling unit, the 13 by 54 non-backwashing acid neutralizer. The only time that I really use the backwashing type system on local installations is when a homeowner or a customer has a large amount of iron or heavy sediment in the water that would actually clog the fixtures, and in that case the bed would need to be rinsed out every 2 days, every 3 days, every 4 days, etc. And some of you may have always had a backwashing and feel more comfortable with the backwashing type system. But whenever we can, we recommend the non-backwashing, simply because it doesn't waste a lot of water. The tanks are all the same, the inside of the tank's all the same. Comes with the large 1.25" fill port, which allows you to add your calcite to the neutralizer without disconnecting it from the plumbing. All you basically do is shut the water supply off at your well tank, run a cold water line to relieve all the pressure, and then you put your funnel in and you're going to fill it with calcite, and we usually recommend to keep it from about 10 inches from the fill port itself. So you're going to have 10 inches of free space at the top of the tank. That way, if you overfill it, and I've had people do this, and you just turn it on without purging air out, you can shoot all that calcite into your plumbing, and then you're going to have to get a plumber, and he's going to have to start cutting pipes out in order to get the water flow back on again. Or if the hot water heater sometimes is first in line on the cold water side, which I see a lot in installations, that calcite's going in the hot water heater, and that hot water heater is history. And let me tell you, it's a bear to get out, because if you've got 50 to 100 pounds of calcite plus the hot water heater, and you can't drain that water because down here is plugged up from the drain at the bottom is plugged up from the calcite, it's extremely hard to get out of the house, especially if you have to go up steps. So basically, all you're doing is you shut the water off, run a cold water line, put your funnel in here, add your calcite to 10 inches from where the tank turns at the fill port, and then put the cap back on. I usually recommend leaving the cap loose until the water starts to squirt out. You turn the water back on about 1/4 of the way. Once it starts squirting out, you just hand tighten it back up, maybe a 1/4 turn with a set of channel locks, and fully pressurize it, run a cold water line for about 5 or 10 minutes to get all the calcite dust out. You run it until it gets clear and you're good to go. Alright, kind of getting off track, but this is our most popular unit, the non-backwashing system. And the reason why a lot of people like it is, 1, you don't have to hook up a drain. 2, there's no electric required. And the most important reason is, a lot of people don't know that backwashing acid neutralizers use 70, 80 gallons of water every time they backwash. And some of the other brands, say like the EcoWater 2100 PF12, I used to run an EcoWater dealer in the early 90s. That thing uses close to 150 gallons of water when it regenerates. And that's something that salespeople coming to your house aren't going to tell you. They're trying to sell you a backwashing system to justify the high price. If you don't have, iron in the water, which stains everything, a brownish orange type stain. It's hard to clean off. And you don't have heavy sediment. I would go, to save yourself money and installation costs, I would go with the non-backwashing type system. Now, if you do have iron in the water, basically it's the same system. All we do, this tank, this valve unscrews, and we put the Flex 7000 valve on top of it. The tank is universal, and basically you just plumb it in and out, and the only difference is you have to have an outlet nearby, and you're going to have to run a drain line either to an existing standpipe like at your washing machine, you have a sanitary tub in the basement somewhere, or you'll have to cut into a vertical or horizontal PVC drain line, cut in a T with a P-trap and a standpipe, and basically that's the big difference as far as the two neutralizers. How they work: water passes through, becomes neutral before it gets to the outlet, and the larger you go, with the larger tank system you go with, the better flow rates you're going to have. And with the better flow rates, you can use more than one fixture at a time. Like if you don't buy a 1 cubic foot unit online, because when you get it, the thing's going to be tiny, and you're going to have to send it back. You know, that's something you would use if you're going on vacation, and you can slide it inside your RV, but hook it up to the water supply so you can neutralize or filter the water before it comes into the RV storage tanks. But other than that, if you've got a pH of 5.5 or 5.0, you want to go with, you know, a 13 by 54 size system. That's a 2.5 cubic foot tank. It holds 5 50-pound bags of calcite. That'll give you better contact time during peak water usage. You won't have to service it as often, maybe 18 to 24 months, depending on how many people live in the house and how much water you use. So basically, with this unit, you've got your built-in bypass. You've got your 1-inch threaded connectors, which rotate 365 degrees, which makes it easier to install. You can, if your water tank or pressure tank is over there, you can come up the wall over, or come along the floor and up to it if you want. And then you've got your outline, basically, and you would just come up and over and connect with your main house line. And this makes it much easier to install. There's nothing in here that can corrode. All these connecting nuts, if you ever need to pull the unit away from the wall, they just unscrew. You don't need a pair of channel locks or a wrench. It's all tightened by hand. It all seals with an O-ring. And the best way, what we recommend doing, is connecting it from the well tank to the unit in CPVC, which is the off-white plastic piping. Now this is a CPVC 1-inch female adapter with an O-ring inside. And basically you're just going to screw it on and tighten it, snug it up, and you're done. Now, you can come from your well tank. All well tanks have, if you're using a brass tank tee, they already have 1-inch threading. You can put another one of those on your tank tee, come off the tank tee, put your main shutoff valve in, and then continue to plumb till you get to the system. You can do that in 1 inch because you've got a 1-inch adapter here. Now, if you already have 3/4 inch and you're changing one out, putting another one in, you'll take a 1 by 3/4 inch CPVC bushing and glue it into the 1-inch female adapter. And once you're done that, let the glue set up for 15-20 minutes, and then you can continue to plumb the system in at 3/4 inch CPVC. And then you'll do the same coming out of the house line. Usually the main house line is 3/4, so you would reduce it on this side anyway and make it 3/4 inch CPVC. And typically you always want to do plastic from the tank to the unit, because between point A and point B, the well tank and the system itself, that water is unfiltered. So if you have copper, the copper that's unfiltered is still subject to corrosion, which you don't want, because you can get a pinhole leak, you can get a burst pipe, and end up with a flooded basement or a flooded house, depending upon where your pressure tank sits. Now, if you have an older house and that the pit's outside, you want to make sure that it stays above freezing in the wintertime so you don't have any problems with the tank, because if the water in here freezes, the tank is really not meant to expand, so it's going to crack or get ruptured, and you're going to have to replace it. But anyway, Like I said, I know there's a lot of confusion online about what type of neutralizer to buy, what type of system, what size system, whether it's backwashing or non-backwashing. And like I said, the choice is yours. I just try to lead people in the right direction. I would go with the non-backwashing. I mean, this unit comes with the unit, the bypass, the connections, and 5 50-pound bags of calcite for $6.95 shipped to you. Now I know, the 20 years I've been in the business, I know that Culligan and all these other companies charge an exorbitant amount of money for a neutralizer, especially if it's installed. And they typically don't sell it unless they're going to install it. And I'm an experienced installer. I offer technical support 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And you have to be careful when you're shopping online. Make sure you ask the people that you're purchasing from or talking to if they've ever installed or serviced a water treatment system. Because if you haven't done it, you can't tell people how to do it. I can tell you inside and out how to do it over the phone, whether it's an acid neutralizer, water softener, well tank, iron filter, UV light, all that stuff. I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of installations over the years. But anyway, if you have questions, you can call or text me at 443-277-2204 or email me at info@midatlanticwater.net, and I'd be more than happy to help you. Now, obviously this isn't a professional video. I'm just doing this to make people feel more comfortable about who they're buying from and to let them know that we sell all high quality products and that you can get in contact with me 365 days a year. If I'm awake and alive, I will call you back, text you back, email you back, whatever it takes. But anyway, like I said, if you need to get in contact with me, call or email me. I'll be more than happy to help you out.